Hello BSS, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. Let's go! Alright, hello everybody. Hello, I hope you are all having a great day so far. As you can tell by today's title, I am going to be talking about a new subject here because I have never covered this on my channel before, and we are going to be talking about Korean urban legends. That is a new one for me. I usually do Mexican urban legends, or I have also covered Japanese urban legends before, so we're doing a new one here, and I've been meaning to do this for a while. I just hadn't really looked into it, and my boyfriend has also told me to cover like Korean stories or something of the sort. If you guys aren't aware, my boyfriend Brandon, who I feature sometimes on this channel, he is Korean. And so I was like, yeah, that would be a fun subject. I just got to get around to it. And yeah, so here we are. We are covering some urban legends, and these are supposed to make your skin crawl for days. So we're gonna look into these together. We are both going into this unknowingly, actually, because I decided to do it this way, okay? Because your girl, bad memory, she cannot keep anything in this noggin to save her life. That's why I always have to read off of stuff, and I always have to give myself a script, because I am so awful at remembering stories and then reading them back to people. Like, I have tried, okay? I have tried my best to do that before. That way it comes out more natural. There's like a better flow to it than reading. But it's just not meant for me. Like, I cannot do it. And then whenever I do, I end up with like an hour of footage because of how much I have to stop and then go back and like read my sites again, make sure that I have the correct information. I ping pong back and forth with the order of the facts, and I feel like that just makes it sound even less natural than reading it off of something. And so we're going to be reading off of an article that says that they have these Korean urban legends that are so creepy they'll make your skin crawl for days. Okay, that's what they're alleging, and hopefully they are, because I have been pretty curious about what kind of urban legends there are. It has come to my conclusion that Korean and Japan have some similar legends. You know, maybe it's just because they're in close proximity, I don't know, but I feel like they've been influenced kind of in the same way, which is kind of the same with Mexico and Central America and South America. Like, a lot of their legends are pretty similar, and I feel like it's just because of proximity. It's maybe just because of human nature and what kind of stories we make up or we come up with that maybe will deter people from doing things, or like warn people from doing things along those lines. You know, there's always a reason as to why these legends come to be, because there's always some kind of lesson behind it or something of the sort. And sometimes it's just for fun. I feel like sometimes they just come up with these things and then somebody's like, oh, that's scary, and it gets passed down forever, you know, and it's just a thing, you know, that humans do. I don't really know why, but it's fun either way. I love learning about them, and I love searching them up and looking for new ones. And since I usually do Mexico, because I feel like Mexico has some pretty eerie ones, I wanted to kind of venture out, as I said, and do something a little bit different. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and hopefully my glasses and the reflection of my glasses won't distract you, because I get distracted by it. I'm like, where can I look where you can't see the reflection? And I'm like awkwardly sitting this way. Anyways, enough rambling from me. I've been rambling for a little too long. Let's go ahead and read through the first legend, shall we? And some of these are pretty short, so I'll try to discuss each one of them afterwards. That way, you know, we are talking about these a little bit longer than what the stories are given. And the first urban legend is called the Sesame Seed Bath. And it says, the story around this is that a girl decided to take a bath with sesame seeds soaked in her bathtub. after being told how good they are for the skin. She was so obsessed with her skin's appearance that she decided to stay in the tub for hours. Her mother, worried about her daughter's absence for so long, discovered her in the bathtub with the sesame seeds lodged into her pores, forming roots. The daughter appeared hysterical and was trying to remove the seeds with a toothpick. And then the picture, which I'll put on the screen right now, that they're using for this looks so gross. And I don't even know if that's supposed to be like a depiction of this urban legend or if this is supposed to be like some kind of like skin disease and they ended up using this picture for it. But I actually like that would gross me out so much. Like the idea of having little tiny well, from what it looks like on there, it's like little tiny bumps all over your skin makes my skin crawl, like actually, because I can't imagine trying to pick at it or touch it. I feel like I would be too grossed out and I'd be like, get this off of my skin right now. So nasty. I don't like that. And then I was trying to think of what kind of lesson this would be teaching, or what kind of like preventative thing this could be teaching. Maybe just to avoid sesame seeds. They're like, girl, you need to use that for your food. Do not be filling up your entire bathtub with these things. They were trying to conserve sesame seeds. That was it. There was a time where there was a sesame seed storage shortage, and they were like, what can we do? We're gonna make up a story. That way people will stop using them for their bath. That's just me making shit up. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the second urban myth and this art legend. I'm always like flip-flopping between those two words. I'm like, is myth and legend that much of a difference? I'll have to look it up because honestly, I'm not educated in that. Okay, it says, this one is called the elevator murder. Oh, that seems like it could be real. According to how the story goes, a 19-year-old Haruko was going up to her apartment on the 14th floor. As soon as the elevator doors were about to close, a hand stopped them, and a very handsome man entered and stood very close to Haruko. He informed her that he lived on the 13th floor and pressed the button. As soon as the elevator stopped on the 13th floor, he looked at her and maniacally laughed with a knife in his hand while saying, "I'll see you upstairs." No matter what button she pressed, the elevator eventually took her to the 14th floor, and she was killed. Korean people believe this to be a true story, and some also say that this is the reason why elevators have a stop button now. Wait, there's like some pieces missing here. They took it. Who killed her? This guy? Did he meet her at the 14th floor and like end her? Like, what is, like, how did this happen? He left, but he had a knife in his hand. Then he stepped into the 13th floor. But she was trying, okay, well, no matter what button she pressed, the elevator eventually took her. Did she not want to go to the 14th floor? I thought, oh, wait, yeah, because her apartment is on the 14th floor. I guess he was trying to stop it because he said that he would see her upstairs. Like, why not just do that to her in the elevator? I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to get more of a scare factor in. That's crazy. I'm guessing this guy just, killed her once the elevators opened. I don't know if he just went up the flight of stairs to meet her up there. That's creepy. I don't know if that's very much of an urban legend, unless it, like, there was no proof of this being a true story. I feel like that's the only way it would be called an urban legend, because I mean, if this was just any regular person, there's people who murder other people all the time, and it's a sad fact, but it's not a legend. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the third urban legend on here. This one is the human-faced dog, and I do not like the picture that's on here. It's creeping me out looking at it. All right, this one says, this is an age-old urban legend in Japan and Korea, which involves people claiming to have sighted a human-faced dog. Since the 1970s, a lot of people have shared their horror story about how they were walking down the road in the night and heard someone talking, but as soon as they would turn, they wouldn't see anybody. Soon enough, after hearing a voice for long enough, they would turn around to see a dog, but with the face of a human. It is believed that a person who has lived a sinful life is reborn again as half dog and half human. Ugh, gross. I don't like that at all. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine seeing this picture that I'm showing on the screen, talking, and you turn around and you see that? Oh my god, I would pass out immediately. I do not like that. It's so creepy. And there's another one in Mexico City that's similar to this. And actually, I feel like there's, in a lot of places, there's something similar to this, where it's like a person that looks like a dog and a human. Like, and not in a werewolf type way either. It's like in this like deformed way. Even though the picture on here, that's not a dog. I just realized because I saw the feet. That's like a calf with a tumor that looks like a face. Either way, it's creeping me out. I don't want to look at it anymore. I'm gonna scroll down. That one was really creepy. Because I always put myself in the situations in my head where I'm like, if I don't even really walk outside at night anyway, like by myself ever, because I'm a woman, you know. I'm too scared to do that just because I'm scared of humans in general. But anyway, I always get sidetracked. I can't, like, I put myself in that situation and I'm like, I don't know how I would react. Like, I honestly don't know, but I feel like I would pass out or pee myself or run away. Those are the only three options for me that I feel like would happen to me if I ever saw this. And anytime that people have stories like this, I'm just like, how can you even tell them without being triggered? Because I honestly would just never talk about it again. I'd be like, I don't care how crazy it is, because I feel like people would think I'm crazy. That's another reason why I wouldn't tell people. I wouldn't go around telling people about these stories. I'd be like, you're making that shit up. I just don't know how people do it. I guess maybe they just go on these blogs and just type it out, because I feel like maybe typing it out is easier. I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the next urban legend. I hope I'm not going through these too fast. They're really good, so I'm enjoying reading these. I hope you're enjoying listening to me read these, and we're both finding out about these together at the same time. Alright, and this one is called The Hollow-Eyed Woman. Also, this picture on here, don't like it. I know it's probably, it's just a person, I know, but it's still creepy. And this one says, based in the north of Seoul, this story is about a highway called Jayuro, I think that's how you say it, which connects Goyang and Paju. I'm like butchering probably. The highway is quite infamous for the fatal accidents that happen to people traveling on it. Drivers have claimed to have seen a woman standing by the side of the highway who appears to be wearing sunglasses. It's when they get closer to her that they realize that she isn't wearing any sunglasses, but instead her eyes are gouged out. And that's it. Okay, so I guess they see this woman and then that's how they end up getting in an accident. They end up looking at her for a little bit too long, because you have to look. If something is going on at the side of the road, people have to look. And that's how other accidents happen, and that's how traffic happens. But anyway, besides the point, I don't even know if I would look. I would just have like a passing look, like, why is there a person on the side of the highway? And I would just keep driving, looking at the road. But I mean, staring enough to see that her eyes were gouged, that means you're actually making eye contact with this person and you're slowing down to be able to see all of this, and that's how you end up in an accident. But another urban legend that has a lot of similarities to some of the other legends that I've covered. You guys know I've covered a lot of highway stories here on my channel, and they usually have to do with people getting into accidents because they see some woman in white, which is a very common trend in a lot of American urban legends, Mexican urban legends. It's probably all over the world, honestly. There's probably, no matter where in the world you are, I can probably guarantee that there is a highway somewhere in that area that people talk about where they see some kind of apparition and then they end up getting into a car accident. I have covered a lot of these, and no matter how many times I cover it, I feel like I still get creeped out by it, and I would still never ever want that to happen to me. Obviously, nobody wants to get into an accident, but I mean, seeing an apparition enough to be like, swerve in my car and shit. But this was a good urban legend. Either way, it always creeps me out. No matter where the legend is from, seeing something, especially this one, because she's not just a regular woman in white. She's a lady that has her eyes gouged out. I feel like I'm saying that word wrong. English is my second language. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the fifth urban legend. This one is a very short one as well. Very short and sweet. It says, it's called Soul Stealing Dreams. It says, according to an old urban legend in Korea, dreaming of a dead loved one is a bad omen, especially if they're near water. It is said that the dead family member / friend will call you towards them, and if you embrace them in the dream, they steal your soul away. Now, why would they do that? That's kind of messed up, right? Like, I feel like I would want to hug my loved one, like, or, in my own conclusion, maybe it's somebody or something pretending to be a loved one because they know that in a dream you would want to go towards them and you would want to hug them because, why wouldn't you? This is your loved one and you miss them, so of course you're going to want to go up to them. And maybe this is a tactic where that's how this entity steals your soul away, and it's not actually your dead loved one. That makes it scarier because that means that something evil is trying to take you away before your time. So I guess you can't hug your loved one. Just I guess you're gonna have to let it go and be like, pretend that you don't even see them and be like, sorry, not today, ma'am. But could you imagine that because of this urban legend, like, if there's an afterlife and all of that, your loved one like comes and visits you, but you know about this urban legend, so you're like, you completely ignore them. And you imagine your loved one's like, what the, like, I made this journey to come visit you in your dream or whatever, and you're like, not today, girl. That'd be so messed up. Like, that's like sad, but this is a fun legend either way. I like that one. Okay, now on to the sixth one, and this one is called Virgin Ghosts, and it says virgin ghosts or chonyoguishin. Oh my god, I know I'm not saying that right. Are a pretty common urban legend in South Korea. According to stories, the ghost appears to have long black hair covering its face with a very unpleasant face. Apparently, if there's one around you, the temperature will suddenly drop significantly. And okay, that's all they're gonna give me for this? Are you serious? What's the purpose of this? Let me look up a little bit more about this because that kind of just left me on a cliffhanger for no reason. Let's see. Virgin Goose. It's the spirit of an unmarried woman in Korean folklore. Okay. In early traditional Korea, women were brought up with the ideologies that their life's sole purpose shall be serving their father, husband, and children. It was believed that a woman gets lifelong resentment and cannot move into the afterlife if she dies before fulfilling her responsibilities. It was considered that to them, dying a virgin is equivalent to their life being meaningless. What? Thus, in the folklore, unmarried young girls after death become a han and turn into evil spirits. They mainly attach to young girls of their age, harassing and harming them. They may also ruin the family, and so are especially enlisted as a vessel in their household. A small shelf is hung on the wall in one corner, and a small wooden box is enshrined on it. Or the spirit is enshrined in a door gap. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then there's a little bit more on the myth. It says, since ancient times, it has been thought that the resentment was very deep when a virgin died. And there is a myth that if anyone gets possessed by a virgin ghost, they will harbor strong resentment or that they will not be able to get married. For this reason, in the old days, for fear that a virgin would die and become a ghost, dolls emphasizing the male genitalia were made of straw and put in a coffin, or dolls dressed in men's clothes and buried upside down. Then thorns were placed around the coffin and buried. The reason for putting a male doll emphasizing the genitals in a coffin or wearing men's clothes is to comfort them for making contact with men even after they die. And burying the coffin upside down is to block the virgin ghost from coming out thoroughly. This part shows how much the fear of virgin ghosts in the civilian world was overwhelming in the past. That is so crazy. The fact that they were like pushing this. Their way of making sure that women got married and then lost their virginity was to make this myth. That's what I'm guessing, that, you know, this all made up. Just to make sure that women were fulfilling their duties by getting married and then having children, I'm guessing. That is wild. This urban legend is crazy. And yeah, these are different times, but the fact that they still were making like these little dolls, I'm guessing just like a penis on there, so the virgin that died would have some kind of I don't even know what you would call it, like what is the purpose, you know? But anyway, crazy one. Y'all gotta tell me what you thought about this one in the comments. I'm curious, like, because I'm genuinely shook. I'm shook by this one. I was like, there was so much more that this article did not include, which I just looked up. It is Wikipedia, so I don't know how accurate that is, but that actually it took me back a little bit. I was like, what? That's why I was laughing so much, because it's so unbelievable that was a thing. Okay, and this one final urban legend that we're going to talk about, okay? This one is the cockroach facial mask. I already don't like it. Already sounds nasty. According to the urban legend, a young boy who suffered from severe acne read somewhere about placing a cockroach on a pillow before going to bed. Desperate to get rid of his acne, the boy catches a cockroach. How? Where did you find it? And places it on his pillow and goes to sleep. The next morning, the cockroach is nowhere to be seen, but the boy's acne is completely covered. Ecstatic with this development, he goes to school only to realize later that the cockroach laid eggs in his pores. And then it says sweet dreams. Ah! That's so disgusting. Willingly putting an insect on your bed is already too far. I can't even fathom like thinking that there's somebody that desperate to get rid of the acne that they would put a cockroach in their bed. Also, was this cockroach alive? How did it stay in your bed? Like, how did it not immediately just crawl away? And also, how did you just luckily find a cockroach? It's been years since I've seen a cockroach. How do you just go out there? Are they just out there in the wild? Like, how do you find them? Like, that's crazy to me. Okay, but how did his acne look like it was gone because of the eggs being in his pores? That's what I'm kind of confused about. Like, how did he see himself in the mirror and think that those eggs were like, did it look like his skin? Is that why? Like, did the eggs look like the color of his skin, that way it looked like he didn't have acne anymore, like kind of like putting something like, you know, foundation, which is your color, like on top of the acne? Is that how it looked like he didn't have it anymore? I have a lot of questions. Whoever wrote this urban legend up and, you know, came up with it and was telling it to people, I have a lot of questions for you, because I don't know what the purpose of this is, and it's more gross than it is scary, honestly, but it was entertaining to read. Okay, I was into it. Nasty though, the eggs, disgusting. I feel like a lot of us have a fear of spiders getting in your mouth while you're sleeping, because that's the thing that people talk about. They're like, you know how many spiders you've ate in your life? Even though I don't think it's true. Like, I don't think it's a real thing. I don't think the spiders will willingly actually, they kind of get themselves in stupid situations a lot of the time, where I'm just like, why are you in here? You're dumb. Now you're in the toilet and you're dead. So, I mean, it's not impossible, but that's a fear of mine. It's that someday there'll be like a spider on my face when I wake up. And also, because of that scary stories to tell in the dark story where she has like a pimple and then she pops it and a bunch of spiders come out. That's another reason why I feel like people have that fear. So this is nasty. The cockroach, this kid has cockroaches in his face now, on his face, and the eggs are in there. Oh, nasty. This is the second one where it has to do with something being embedded into your skin, because I feel like the Korean people are very passionate about their skincare and what their skin looks like, their complexion. So I feel like maybe that's why this to them is terrifying. They're like, it ruined my skin, and that's the scariest thing that could happen to me. So I get why that's an urban legend to them. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the last one. I hope you had fun with me, because I definitely had fun reading these urban legends that I had never heard about before, and never once came across a Korean urban legend or anything like that. So it was genuinely a first time hearing these urban legends from me. For me, I mean, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah, that is going to be it. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, guys, today I'm going to have you guys put a spider emoji in whatever comment you leave down below. That way I know who stayed all the way to the end, and I appreciate you so much if you did. I love you so much. And before I end the video as well, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. As always, I really do appreciate it, and it really makes my day. And if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment down below, and that's it. And yeah, guys, thank you again for watching all the way through. Hopefully I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye.